to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
Hey everybody, it's Jay with your NXT report for June the 3rd, 2025. Before I get into the show, I just wanted to share my thoughts about releases again this week. More importantly, Ron Killings, R-Truth. I'm gonna miss him. I don't think he's gone forever. I think he's gone for now. Obviously, there's a whole big thing now going on with the amount of money that TKO and WWE are in debt. You know, if you've heard about it, something like $3 billion they're in debt, which is why they have all these new sponsors and why they are cutting costs of getting rid of people they're not using, which they were using R-Truth. But he's probably making a lot of money. He's been on the roster for 17 years or something like that, so it makes sense if he's making a lot of money. It's sad. I told my dad about it, and he's like, really? That sucks, because I don't think I've ever heard of somebody that said, I don't like that R-Truth. He doesn't really do anything for me. He does something for everybody, and listen. I heard this from Karrion Kross, something that he posted. They're not the people that they released. They're not gone. I'm still following Elena Black, which was formerly known as Cora Jade, on all social media platforms. I'm following Ron Killings. Just follow the people and give them some life, because they've put some enjoyment in your life with their talents, and least you can do is follow them on social media if you do social media. Yeah, so it just kind of sucks. We have officially lost 3 of our top women's wrestlers from NXT officially, and we gained somebody this week, which I'll talk about in a second. But we lost in the last 2 weeks, Roxanne and Julia, and now Stephanie, which, I loved doing these NXT reviews when Stephanie was there, but now, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, listen, with the new acquisition, it may still be pretty cool, but it's just not Stephanie's my girl. She's my favorite wrestler right now, and just the look and the way she does things in the ring, it's amazing. And I'm gonna predict. I thought about doing this as a mailbag show, but I think it's too late now to submit it. Maybe not, I don't know. But I'm going to predict that by the end of the year, Stephanie Vaquer will be the world champion. Maybe even sooner than that, but I'm going to be conservative and say by the end of the year, I think she'll be world champion. I don't think she's going to take it from Io directly, although I wouldn't be surprised if they had a match at Evolution in July. She's obviously qualified now for Money in the Bank. I don't think she's going to win. She just doesn't have the personality for the cash-in that Tiffany had, that Liv had. I think Naomi and Rhea, they have the temperamentality to do the cash-in. I just can't see Stephanie running down with a briefcase and throwing it into a ref's face and saying, I want to cash in. I don't see that from her. I see it from Julia a little bit. I definitely see it from Roxanne. I don't see that I don't think Stephanie. It'd be great if Stephanie won. I don't see that, though, happening. Just because of, not that she wouldn't be good enough to win the match, but that she doesn't have the mentality to cash in. Just my own personal opinion. Anyway, let's talk about NXT. This was a really this week was a really good episode. So much crossover with TNA, and I don't think I told you guys last week. I finally bit the bullet. I'm actually going to watch TNA the next 2 nights. Tomorrow night is their PLE. But I finally bit the bullet and got TNA Plus. And I have to say, I'm pretty satisfied. They also show, they have on their platform, they have, old TNA from, the 2000s and 2010s. So it would be kind of nice to see some of that stuff from, when AJ was there and was champion. Which I heard a rumor that wouldn't it be interesting if right before AJ Styles retires that he regains the TNA championship. It wouldn't be cool if it was kind of cool if it was against Trick Williams too. I'm just saying. Anyway, just some thoughts. I'm going crazy. I'm going all over the place, but it's just some thoughts that I've had. So let's talk about the episode. It aired on April 3rd, 2025 from the WWE Performance Center in Winter Park, Florida. Your commentators, as always, are Vic Joseph, Booker T, and Corey Graves. And by the way, I love having Corey Graves on this show now. Booker T drives me insane. He's annoying. I like him as a wrestler, and I like him. He's okay as a guy, but he's just the things that he says, and he just has to get his little Bookerisms in every episode. Whereas Corey Graves actually brings substance to commentary. Like, obviously, Vic Joseph, he's great, and he does a great job in play-by-play. But to me, Corey Graves really does really great in the color commentary. And I think right now Booker T is just there to get his Bookerisms in. And he's all upset now because Stephanie Vaquer is not there, and he can't watch her do the Devil's Kiss, which, oh well. Anyway, so in the beginning of this episode, we had... Oh, by the way, and the ring announcer, of course, is Mike Rome, who now will forever be... who will forever have that look on his face in my mind after Stephanie lost the title to JC Jane last week. So we had an in-ring segment, a promo segment, sort of to hype up Worlds Collide, which is again is on Saturday at 3:00 on YouTube, and it's also on YouTube in Spanish. Let me tell you, watch it. It's good. I have a feeling that it's going to be the best premium live event that not a lot of people will see. I'm hoping that if you all are listening to me, that you're fans enough of WWE to watch Worlds Collide at 3:00. And yes, I know it's a commitment because you're also watching Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank is like probably the 5th biggest PLE of the year, maybe even overtaking Survivor Series potentially. But watch even if you don't watch Worlds Collide while it's live, watch it at some point. I have a feeling that it's going to be really good. I may review it. I'm not sure yet. It depends on how my day goes on Sunday. But since it is kind of a half of an NXT event, I may give it a short reaction. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, so Ethan Page is in the ring. He's talking about how Rey Fenix is stuck on a plane. He's not going to be there. If you don't remember, there's a fatal 4-way match between Rey, Phoenix, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and the Laredo Kid, or Laredo, depending on what you call him. This is going to be a great match. They're not like most of the match is going to take place above the ring. I mean, all 3 of the 4 of the guys, and even Ethan Page to an extent, but not as much. But 3 of those 4 guys are like high flyer extraordinaires: Javon Evans, Rey Fenix, and Laredo Kid. And it's let me tell you, there was a match later, and I want to say this before I forget. Laredo Kid got tripped up in the wires in the ring ropes on a suicide dive and landed right flat on his face. And he got right back up, but I feel like it's been happening a lot more. Like, I don't know if they changed the configuration of the ropes. I feel like it's been happening more where people go for suicide dives and get tripped up and land on their faces. Is that, am I, it's happened at least 3 or 4 times in the last few months that I can remember. Okay, so he says he's on Saturday, he's got to defend the championship, and then apparently Ava, this is Ethan Page, apparently Ava has him set for a title defense against some Evolve kid, Sean Legacy. And the worst part about it is that Ethan Page didn't agree to what Ricky Saints did, but, he didn't agree to this, he didn't agree to anything. And then the Laredo kid comes out and says, "You talk a lot, but you don't have any balls." And I think he said that in Spanish, actually. Huevos, right? Huevos? Or is that eggs? I don't remember. I'm really bad at Spanish. You would think I didn't take it for like 6 years in high school and college, but anyway. Javon Evans says, "That's facts, and you cost me my match on SmackDown." And Ethan Page says, "Oh, I know, Javon. You see, that's what happens when you keep sticking your nose in my business." Javon says, "You right. Maybe instead of sticking my nose in your business, maybe I'll stick my foot up your ass." I'm quoting, but I think it's better that I take that North American Championship off you on Saturday. Ethan Page says, "You know what? I don't need to deal with this right now. The champ is going home." Then Sean Legacy comes out and says, "Ethan, you said whoever walks out of Worlds Collide with the title, I get next. Look, it'd be an honor to challenge you, Laredo and Javon. I have a feeling that you and I are not dancing just yet, but hopefully, and I mean hopefully, it's not you," and he looks at Ethan Page. "But if it is, I'll be ready, because tomorrow night I have a chance to become the first ever WWE Men's Evolve Champion, and next Tuesday I have a chance to become the NXT North American Champion." Finally, Evolve is putting their titles on, which, I don't know. I watched it a couple times. I like it. It's good. It's a lot of TV. There's a lot of TV that people aren't watching, though. Like Main Event. Who's watching that? I don't know if people are watching Speed. I like the fact that Soul is the champion, but I don't even know who's the men's champion right now. I think it's Andrade, or was Andrade. I don't remember if it is still or not. Anyway. Then the Swipe Right guys come out. Ricky Smoke says, "Legacy, you're kind of killing the vibe, bro." And Ethan, "Don't worry. The Vanity Project, the hottest faction in Evolve, is here." Brad Baylor, also from Swipe Right, says, "When it comes to Sean Legacy, you don't have to worry. You see, our boy Jackson Drake here is going to take care of you tomorrow night at Evolve. And believe me when I tell you, he's taking the title home with him. And for the rest of the bums in the ring, Ethan, we got your back." And then Paige attacks Legacy from behind, and then a brawl ensues, and Evans, Legacy, and Kid clear the ring, triple stage dive, and all hell's breaking loose, and they close the segment. And then we see that El Hijo del Vikingo, who just won the AAA, was it Mega Champion, something like that. He beat Alberto Del Rio, or whatever his name is in AAA, because they didn't want him. They didn't want Alberto Del Rio on WWE. If you know what's going on, he has a big, huge fallout with WWE. The only reason why he's still in contract with AAA is because he already has a contract, but he was the champion of AAA, and now so that he doesn't have to defend the title at Worlds Collide, they put the title on El Hijo del Vikingo. So he will be facing Chad Gable at, not El Grande Americano, Chad Gable at Worlds Collide. So the first match is Dark State versus Chase U. This match was exactly what you would expect. Dark State, they talked a lot during commentary. They talked a lot about what's his name? Lennox. What's his name? Lennox? I forgot his name. Anyway, they talked a lot about him. And it was an okay match. This was the match that if you went to get a snack during this match, you probably didn't miss a whole heck of a lot. The winner was Dark State after the power bomb, the 3-man power bomb that they do. They did that on One of the guys from Chase U. I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember the names. I don't remember the names of Dark State either, but at least they have a bit of an impact on things. But yeah, it was just it was okay. Then Ava's trying to calm down Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Shawn Legacy in the backstage. She makes an 8-man tag match for later on tonight. Then Dragon Lee steps up to the plate and will be their tag team partner. It will be Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Dragon Lee, and Shawn Legacy versus Ethan Page and Vanity Project, which is Swipe Right and the other guy, which, again, they're really good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't remember their names. There's just too many names to remember. They keep bringing people over from TNA. They're bringing people up from Evolve. At some point, like, your brain just can only handle so many things to remember. Then Sarah Schreiber had a backstage interview with Trick Williams and how he plans to take down Mike Santana. Trick knows that Santana is passionate. Borican from the Bronx. That's what it says. Tonight is the biggest match of his career. Trick knows that Santana is the standard of TNA, but he doesn't care how much he screams. The standard has changed, and Trick Williams is in charge right now. TNA has been looking for the one to take the company to new heights, to make the TNA World Championship legitimate. It's not Average Joe, it's Trick Williams, and he knows what's best for TNA. It's Trick NA. Let's talk about it. Then we see Tyra May Steele, who was the women's winner from LFG, talking to Carly Bright in the women's locker room. Winning the first season of LFG was incredible, disappointing. The Undertaker is just as scary as being in the Olympics. Ariana Grace, who just had a match, I think the first time ever. I don't know if it's the first time ever, or the first time on TNA. Last week she had a match with Santino Marella, who is her father in real life. So it was like a father-daughter match, which is pretty interesting. Seymour Face, though. Like, Ariana Seymour Face in TNA, and now she's back in NXT, and she's doing the heelish thing, the heelish beauty queen thing that she does. Ariana says that she hates gossip. She hears that the Olympic gold medal that Tyra carries is not even 100% gold, and she knows she wants to fit in the locker room. So here's some advice from Ariana Grace: don't talk about yourself too much. Nobody likes a braggart, especially a tacky one. And Tyra says that she's found her first opponent on NXT as Ariana walks away. Second match. Okay. The second match is Miles Bourne with Tavian Heights in his corner versus Charlie Dempsey with Ren Sinclair in Charlie's corner. And I have to say, as this match went on, it was clear that Ren Sinclair's heart was not with Charlie Dempsey. And this is in the style of a Heritage Cup rounds match. Same rules as Heritage Cup, except the Heritage Cup isn't obviously up for grabs. I do think, as an aside, I think it's weird that the day after WrestleMania, or the Tuesday after WrestleMania, Noam Dar came, won the Heritage Cup, and we basically haven't seen him since, except to break up with Metaphor. I don't really understand what's going on with the Heritage Cup, but I never really cared for it anyway, so it's fine. I mean, I like Noam Dar. I just don't particularly care for the Heritage Cup. This was a great match. I really like this match. I like they really told the story. Like, you ever hear people say, that it's one thing to tell a story like in a promo, but it's another thing to be able to tell a story in the ring wrestling. These two really told a story, and the idea is that if Miles Bourne won, then he could leave No Quarter Catch Crew, which, the way they kind of ended things, it didn't even seem like he wanted to. It seems like he was really friendly with Ren and Tavian Heights, so I don't really understand, like, why can't he go on his own with still being a part of No Quarter Catch Crew? I don't really understand that. Anyway, the idea is for this match that you have to win 2 falls in 6 rounds, and if you win the 2 falls within 6 rounds, then you win the match. So the first round, pinfall went to Miles Bourne. Then we went to commercial, and we spent the entire commercial basically with the second round. There was no winner in the second round, but then the third round, Charlie Dempsey does the Regalplex to pin Miles Bourne. So now we're 1-on-1, and then we're going to the fourth round. And at the end of the fourth round, basically Miles Bourne drop kicks the crap out of Charlie Dempsey and gets the win. At the end of the match, Miles went to shake Charlie Dempsey's hand and he refused. There was a point where there was a cheap shot given by Charlie Dempsey in between one of the sets of rounds, and Ren Sinclair was number one, Tavion Heights was pissed, but Ren Sinclair was visibly pissed about that. And it's going to be really interesting to see how that moves forward, actually. So, I'm in for this. But apparently Miles Bourne won, so he doesn't have to be a part of No Quarter Catch Crew anymore. Okay, cool. Miles Bourne gave a hell of a match, albeit very predictable. A hell of a match against Obafemi, so I think he can do things on his own, for sure. Okay, then Izzy Dame attacks Brooks Jensen with a steel chair out of nowhere and basically says to Sean Spears and Nico Vance that Brooks Jensen never fully bought into the culling. After Sean Spears says to basically Izzy Dame, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, he never fully bought in," and they're like, "Okay," and they walk away. It was short and weird. The third match we had was Tara Mae Steele versus Ariana Grace. Good match. Ariana, sometimes you forget how good she is actually in the ring because she plays this ditzy airhead, beauty queen person. But she's actually pretty good in the ring, too. She's not, the top women's talent in NXT, but she's pretty good. And this was a good match, and of course this was to showcase Steele. And she didn't end up winning the match with a bridging German suplex to pick up the victory. There was a lot of pinfalls tonight without major finishing moves. Take that for what it's worth. I don't even know. Then we had Sarah Schreiber backstage with an interview with Mike Santana. For those of you that know Mike Santana, he's from TNA. He wants to bring the TNA Championship back fully to TNA because right now it's being held by an NXT wrestler and Trick Williams. And if you watch, I watched TNA last week, and none of them are happy over there. Well, apparently, I guess I was wrong. I'll tell you what I mean at the end of this, the end of the night. But a lot of people in TNA aren't happy with Trick being the champion and not being from TNA. So he's about to be the main event at NXT, fighting for the TNA World Title. It's crazy times we're living in, and Santana says he'll reflect when he has the TNA World Title on his shoulder. It's time to get busy. Santana looked into Trick Williams' eyes last week, and he didn't see a fighting champion. He saw a pretender. He saw someone who's fighting for nobody but himself. Tonight, Santana is fighting for every single person who stepped foot in TNA. He's fighting for the legacy of the TNA. More importantly, Santana is fighting for his daughter. He doesn't break his promises. Spoiler alert, he broke his promise. So she's going to witness history tonight. Santana knows how great Trick Williams is, but he only has to be 3 seconds better. Which I thought was pretty cool, actually. Then we have, this was, to me, besides the title match, which was really good, this was the spot of the night. And it got really clunky with a major climax. So what happens is JC Jane comes out, she talks smack about everybody in the women's division and how she's going to be one of the greatest women's champions ever, and nobody has faith in her, and yada, yada, yada. So then Lainey Reed comes out. She says, hi, sweet cheeks. I'm Lainey Reed. It's so nice to meet you. Apparently, she's one of the Evolve wrestlers. Last week, you proved that to everybody that anything is possible by beating Stephanie Vaquer. And with this division being so stacked, I was going to wait my turn. But then I realized you are the most beatable champion of all time. True that. Then Lola Vice comes out. Now, mind you, this is happening. So, there's a bunch of people going to come out one after another. I'm going to talk about in a second. But they all started talking over before the last one was finished. So that's why I'm saying it got really, really clunky. I don't know if they were doing that on purpose, if they were short for time, if they were trying to make a point. But obviously, then it hit the climax of the segment, which I'll talk about in a second. It was just weird. The way they did it was weird. So Lola Vice says, let me be the first to say congratulations. But that NXT Women's Championship is not about you or Fatal Influence, and it's about me. About time I bring that title home to Vice City, baby. And then Jordynne Grace comes out. You know, when I came to NXT to be a part of the best women's division in the world, I had a plan. But after seeing everything that's happened over the past week, it's apparent that anything can happen. I thought I knew something about wrestling. But in a world where Trick Williams is the TNA World Champion and JC Jane can beat Stephanie Vaquer, and then Jada Parker comes out. Jordan, no deal, baby. You had your chance. That's right. You had your chances. Thank you. And so everybody's saying, Miss Parker. And so she's thanking everybody. That's what thank you is for. And everybody knows that I am the baddest bee in this place. And that NXT Women's title needs to be around this little waist of mine. And then Kalani Jordan comes out and says, you know who's beating JC Jane? Kalani Jordan. And you know who's never had a shot at the NXT Championship? Again, Kalani does have a point. And then Lash Legend comes out. And they're all jumping on top of each other. Like when I say that they're all starting before the last person is finished. So like I'm saying it separate, but I'm telling you that they were all just mashing on each other. She wrote, so Lash Legend says, skirt, nobody cares and nobody wants to hear you speak, so zip it. This is to Kalani Jordan. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I see a whole bunch of women who are ready already had their turn. So if anybody's going to take that title off of JC, it's Lash Legend. And then Thea Hale doesn't say anything out of nowhere. She just comes out and just starts beating the crap out of Lash Legend, or Jada Parker, out of Jada Parker, because they're having a thing right now, right? So she doesn't even talk about the title. She just starts beating the crap out of Jada Parker. And then all of a sudden the lights go out. Now, I have been hearing for a few weeks now that this person is supposed to be coming to WWE. We weren't sure if it was NXT. We weren't sure if it was the main roster, but who shows up in the balcony above the ring but Mariah May? Now, if you don't know who Mariah May is, you need to do something for me. Number one, I think that most people who watch NXT probably have an idea who Mariah May is. I actually saw her as the AEW Women's Champion in Albany earlier this year, I think, or last year. No, it was like November. She's amazing. She is fabulous. Glamorous. She's glamorous. She calls herself glamorous. We don't know her name yet. She's just like Ricky Saints when he came in, and Ricky Starks at the time. We didn't know if she was going to, if he was going to be Ricky Starks, if he was going to be something different. We didn't know. So Mariah May comes out. Again, we don't know if that's going to be her name. Probably not. It'll probably be something different. But she says, I have finally arrived. No, I'm sorry. Before I forget. Sorry. I was going to say this tonight, and I got distracted. If you don't know who Mariah May is, or even if you do, you're going to go on YouTube. Listen to me. You're going to go on YouTube, and you're going to search Mariah May versus Toni Storm. That match that they did earlier this year, and I forgot the name of the event because I don't watch AEW, but I watched this match. The match they had earlier this year was effing phenomenal, and you've got to watch it. Watch the match, and you'll get a really good idea of what Mariah May is all about. Now, Toni Storm is absolutely my favorite wrestler outside of WWE. Okay? Well, not including TNA. And Toni Storm, her character work is phenomenal. However, It took two to tango in that match, and Mariah May and Toni Storm. Watch the match. Go on YouTube and search this match. Please watch it. You gotta get the point. Anyway, so she comes out and says, I have finally arrived, and ladies, you can call me the next NXT Women's Champion because the best women's division in the world just got more glamorous. That's all she said. But it was slower than that. She did a really good job. She looked amazing. And it makes sense to me now. So I'm guessing they started working on this last week. And it makes sense to me now while they would immediately take the title off of Stephanie and boost her up to the main roster. So they can make room for Mariah May. Because nobody else is ready. Except Jordan Grace, there's nobody else on that roster that's ready to go up to the main. Nobody else on NXT that's ready to go up to the main roster. Stephanie was the only one. She was a champion. They had to get the title off her. They gave it to JC Jane just so that Mariah May could come in and start. And then who knows how, they may give Mariah May the same treatment as Julia and Stephanie, where they were only there for a few months and then eventually came up. Most likely that's what they're going to do. She could walk into the main roster if she wanted to. I like how they're doing it. They're putting her in NXT first. It's good. It's going to be good for her. It's going to be good for NXT, giving them a bit of a boost. Everybody in the crowd knew who she was. They were all shouting, Mariah, Mariah. I mean, this, again, that's probably not going to be her name. I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. And I'm going to look forward to see if she's going to be in Evolution or not. I'm doubting it, but who knows? Then we have Stevie Turner is trying to hype up the Evolve Women's Division. Yeah, okay. Then Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana, and Aerostar are in the audience. Joaquin Wilde is now no longer able to compete Joaquin Wilde. I meant to say Joaquin. Joaquin Wilde is no longer able to compete at Worlds Collide, so Lince Dorado is going to be taking his spot for the LWO Trios match. Joaquin got injured last night on Raw. In the match prior. I think it was during a speed taping, actually. So then we have the fourth match of the night, which is Javon, Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, and Shawn Legacy versus Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. This was a great match. This match was so good. Now, if you haven't seen the NXT episode and you want to see one match, watch this match. It was like with all the high flying, Ethan Page being just a sorry son of a gun, and it was such a good match. Please watch this. I mean, there was high flying everywhere. In the end, Dragon Lee was actually, he wasn't even supposed to be in this match. Like, it was Ray Phoenix, but Dragon Lee was a big part of this match. He got in his Dragon Lee moves. I'm really looking forward to the Fatal 4-Way. The Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT North American Championship. I have no indication that Ethan Page will not win that match. As far as I'm concerned, Ethan Page, listen, would I love to see Javon Evans get the North American Championship? Absolutely. However, I think Ethan Page is bound for this match, which is fine. Anyway, the winner of the match was Javon Evans, the Laredo Kid, Dragon Lee, and Shawn Legacy. And Shawn Legacy looks great, too. Like, it's only a matter of time before he's in NXT more full-time. Then we have next week on NXT, Obafemi is going to put his championship up against Jasper Troy. Two big dudes beating, big meaty dudes beating the crap out of each other. Excuse me. Sorry. Then we have Soruka and Zarya running into Tatum Paxley in the backstage area. Tatum says that she still feels alone. Again, kind of like milking this whole Gigi and Shotzi thing leaving. Soul tells Tatum that they're here. If they're here for her, and Izzy Dame questions that. Zarya says that Izzy doesn't have any friends, so that she has no leg to stand on in the situation. Izzy purges people who do her wrong, and I don't think it's... Yeah, okay. It was short. Then we've got Luca Crisafino understanding Tony D'Angelo doesn't trust him. Luca got them a match with High Rise, which is the tag team of that goes around with Wes Lee. He's going to prove his loyalty to the Don. Tony says that Luca's doing stuff for the family without his consent. And Lucas says, with all due respect, there's not really a family anymore. True story, Luca. True story. It's not really a family. Where is Rizzo? Where is she? Please bring her back. She's awesome. Anyway, last match. Trick Williams against Mike Santana for the TNA World Championship. Another great match. Mike Santana is great. He's really good. Again, he's showcasing him, Joe Hendry, all these other people are really making me want to watch TNA more. I want to, even though Mike Santana didn't win the match again, and I've already spoiled it, so I'm going to spoil it again. Even though Mike Santana didn't win this match, I want to see him more. Like, he's really good. The partnership, the bringing talent over, back and forth, it's doing what it's intended to do. It's making me want to see these people, these wrestlers, more. So, yeah, I'm going to start watching TNA. If eventually I can't afford $10 a month for TNA, I'll stop watching it. But right now, I'm in. You sold me. This was a great match. Trick Williams ends up winning the match with some interference. So we've got... okay. So at the end of the match... So Elijah's sitting ringside because on Friday... what's it called? There's a PLE for TNA on Friday night. And Elijah was supposed to take on the winner of Trick and Mike Santana. So he's at ringside. Towards the end of the match, Trick Williams is jawing with Elijah, formerly Elias, if you don't know, and grabs his guitar and just destroys it against the ring steps. So Elijah comes out and distracts the referee. And then on the other side of the ring, we have what are they called? First Class from TNA. Now, if you don't know who First Class is, we got Casey Navarro, who you may or may not have heard of. But we also have AJ Francis, a.k.a. FKA, I guess. Top Dollar, which, by the way, his tag team partner is on NXT right now, Shanti the Adonis from Hit Row. And so AJ Francis and Casey Navarro come out. They beat the crap out of Mike Santana, throw him back in the ring, and in the end ends, and Trick Williams gets the win and retains the title. And now, so Trick is going to be taking on Elijah on Friday night with TNA. The first time Trick Williams will be on a TNA show as champions. That's interesting. But it's interesting to see AJ Francis and Elijah, to be honest, because both of these dudes, within the last year and a half or so, were both, or maybe 2 years, were both released from WWE. Now they're back, but they're not back as WWE people. They're back as TNA people, but with their TNA names. And if I wasn't confused already, I would be more confused. But it is what it is. This is a great... So after saying that, all these TNA people are upset because Trick Williams is the TNA champion, and he's not a TNA person. Apparently, what are they called again? I forgot what the First Class. Apparently, First Class is okay with this, and they're on Trick Williams' side. So fascinating. Maybe a cross promotional faction going on. Anyway, it was a great episode. It's a great. Really enjoyed this episode. And Worlds Collide is going to be on at 3:00 and on YouTube on Saturday. And like I said, I may end up doing a quick quick instant reaction between the two. That's what I did for Stand and Deliver. If any of you remember that, let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Jay from the HV on X Twitter. What's it called? X and Twitter. Jay from the Jay from the HV, which is Hudson Valley. That's where I live. So Jay from the HV on Twitter, and let me know what you think. And in the meantime, I will talk to you very soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.